It's time for the May budget review. Hello, everybody. If you are new here, my name is Rachel, and I'm working my way to financial independence 1 week at a time. Thank you so much for joining here on this channel. It is June, and I'm sorry the window's open. If you can hear the traffic noise, I apologize, but it is 10 a.m. and it's already over 85 degrees outside, so we need a little bit of air. I did spend quite a bit of money in May, but I'm okay with it, and I'll just kind of talk to you about why as we go through. Overall, it was a very exciting month, so let's get into the numbers. Okay, so here's my Google Sheets spreadsheet that I've been using since 2016. All right, income. We always start at the top with my highest income, which currently is my W-2. I had a goal of making $4,200, and this is take-home pay, by the way. For anyone who might be new here, this is take-home pay, so that's after my 401k contribution, my HSA contribution, and my health, dental, and vision insurance deductions. I think that's everything, yes. So my actual take-home pay in May was $4,066. As you can see from the note, and if you saw my June budget video, it will be $4,050 going forward. I started a new job at the end of February, so it was a little bit variable until I got all of my deductions worked out and finalized. So now I know exactly what I'll be taking home for June going forward. My next income is my rental property. If you're new here, if you're not, sorry, you've heard this a million times, but if you are new here, I have one rental property out in the Midwest, and it brings home $459.24 every month, hopefully. And it did in May as well. As you can see from the note, that's rent minus property management minus the mortgage. $459.24 is left. As a real estate investor, you want to be saving some of that. I save 100% of that. I'm working on down payment for the next property. My next income is YouTube. I just have a goal of meeting the $100 payout threshold. Beat it by 13 cents. And you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your contributions, which goes with the next category as well, which is support. You guys came through in May. Holy moly. You guys are so generous. $607 is what you guys have gifted me in the month of May. And you can see that on the note broken down by Transfer Tuesdays is when I update you guys on all of that kind of thing. So guys, that's huge. And you know I'm saving every bit of that towards my emergency fund right now. So thank you guys so freaking much. That's incredible. A total income of $5,232 for the month of May. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. And then my expenses are the next category. My highest expense currently is my rent. I pay $15.25. My electricity, I had budgeted 82, it was only 78. Internet's always $59.99. Mohila is my student loan servicer, and that is $0 payment because they are all federal. All sitting with Mohila, and we are still in forbearance until otherwise. So $0. My gym's always $15, and Netflix is always $20. So groceries and food. I had a budget of $500. I actually spent $514.58. $15 over. Right at the end of the month, I went out a few times, and that's always my mistake. I don't like drinking. I don't do it much anymore, especially since I left my toxic job. But I did get a couple drinks out with a friend. So, honest to goodness, I was adding these up throughout the month. I was like, oh, I did really good. And then at the end, I was like, nope, I didn't, because man, those damn drinks out, you guys. Whew. Hopefully I won't be doing that in June. Whatever. Gas and car wash. I budgeted $150. Spent $154.54. Again, I am driving a lot. I'm going to tons of concerts and things on the weekends all over the place. Filling up my cup of happiness. So it's not even an issue for me. I love it. So pet supplies, budgeted $25. You guys know how it is. I actually spent $63.47. I need to change something about those. I say that every month. Once this emergency fund is done, maybe I'll restructure some things. massage. I budgeted 168, and I said I was gonna go get one, but you guys, I did not make time for it. I didn't set money aside for it. I'm just like preoccupied doing other fun things. It's not a priority for me anymore, but we'll see. Invest, I have a goal of 100. I invested 250. I mentioned this in a Transfer Tuesday video, I think. This is the second time I've decided to invest in a startup on Start Engine, and this was a particular thing that I think is cool. I don't know. Apparently every now and then I find something cool and I go invest in it as a startup. So I put 250 in. I have no expectation for this money, and it'll be probably a decade before I even hear about any gain or loss. I have no idea. It was just, investments are risky. But I'm excited. I don't think it'll go badly, or I wouldn't have put money into it. But stay tuned. Donate 50. Absolutely. You guys know, up until May, I had been donating to Layla. She is technically debt-free now. She has enough money to pay off all of her student loan debts, and now she's just working on investing, and she would like me to allocate my money otherwise, and I have done so. The other thing that I am going to choose to donate to is animal rescues, because that is something that is very near and dear to me, because I haven't talked about it here, but I used to have a dog that I rescued. He was, best guess they could tell, maybe 3 or so years old, doesn't matter. I had him for about 5 years before he developed a degenerative disease, and basically Lou Gehrig's disease for dogs. He started to not be able to walk, and I experimented with a wheelchair, and luckily within a week he was all up in that wheelchair. And maybe it was the first time someone said it, but it was just like, oh, you're gonna put him down, right? And it wasn't even a thought in my mind, and it kind of took me back a little bit, just because that's not how I operate. If I can save something and still give something quality of life, that's my choice. And my Wally he rocked that wheelchair for another 2.5 years. We cruised all up and down the East Coast and all over New Hampshire. He moved here with me in 2018 when I first moved here for this job, and he was with me for almost another year. I had to put him down. December of 2018, his disease finally started taking his front legs, and I had to make that tough decision. But he is a huge part of my life. I still have trouble talking about him, and I miss him every day, and I hope to adopt another dog again in the future. But there's this particular animal rescue that they just specifically seek out dogs that people deem they don't want them because they're difficult. It's hard to deal with a handicapped dog. It's full time, but they take it upon themselves to seek out these animals and provide them veterinary care, comfort, a home, show them love in their final hour, like whatever it is. They take animals out of such shitty situations, and they try to rehome if they can, or if they know the animal's at the end of their life, they just comfort and treats and help them cross over. And that's what's up. That's like, the world needs more of those kind of people. Long-winded, but that's why my monthly donation is changing going forward. Now let's get back to the numbers. I had a savings goal of $1,000 for May. In a huge part, thank you to you guys, I was able to save $1,794 to my emergency fund strictly. Look at that. And I have it broken down by Transfer Tuesday on the note there. I'm still, like, you guys blow me away. I'm blown away by you guys. I'm thrilled with myself for still being able to lump $800 a paycheck roughly towards my savings. You guys know I struggled so hard to make the decision to leave that shitty job that was really, it was high paying, and I thought I was just gonna sink right back into poverty. I struggled with that scarcity mindset for too long, and it's like, clearly not, it wasn't reality, it was just fear. Thank God. I'm so happy. I'm I'm still able to save, which is incredible. And you guys have been bolstering me up, and you guys got me through that, supporting me financially, but also encouragement wise. Is I can't ever thank you guys enough. So anyway, spending. You guys know I'm trying to be on a low spend for 2023, or a low buy, whatever. And I've capped myself at $300 for kind of like material spending. I'm not lumping experiences into this because I said to myself, once I got out of the last job and comfortable in this one and realized I'm okay and I can still save, I've given myself grace enough to allow experiences in and to spend money on them, because I went for far too long without doing that, and I'm not doing that anymore. But this is just material spending on items, and I actually ended up spending $417.75. So I did go over, but as you can see from the note, $80 of that was just my once per quarter I order vitamins and supplements. Beauty stuff, I actually needed shampoo and conditioner because I mean, this shit's kind of a lot. It uses, need a haircut, by the way, but, so it wasn't just frivolous spending. And then the other, you guys know I had budgeted $350 because I wanted to buy a ticket to a music festival, which I did, but I also ended up lumping, as I said, other experiences, which for me right now means other concert tickets in this category as well. And I actually spent $594.46. It's not gonna let me leave it this way, but whatever. So in total, spent $55.37, a little bit more than my take home of $52.32 altogether. By that I mean spent and saved $55.37. As long as my end of the month actual is pretty close to this, you guys know I don't do a zero-based budget. Some months I have a surplus in the income, and it just carries over to next month, which is why I've spent more than I had this month, but I didn't dip into savings, and I didn't swipe on credit cards, nothing like that. It's just extra cash I have sitting in my checking account that's just like slush hanging out in there. To the debt, you guys know, student loans. So again, it didn't let me leave that, but that's okay. $160,250, which you know is not entirely accurate since I got a student loan refund for everything I paid during the pandemic, which I had forgotten about, but it's here, so it was $25,000. As I've mentioned, I'm not updating this balance to reflect the refund that I got because my total that I owe on student loans jumped up, of course, to $185,000 once they issued the refund. I didn't change it here, and I'm just leaving it alone because I do plan to put that money back on the student loans as soon as the forbearance ends as well. I believe, I don't know 100% yet. My other option that I'm flipping around is using some of it as a down payment on my next rental property, and I want to buy a house hack, so it will help eliminate or at least reduce my monthly living expense, but that's a whole nother, just in case anyone's new here and are confused about what I'm doing with that loan refund. But now let's move on to the sinking funds. As you guys know, I'm working on that emergency fund. $94.81 is what that account now has in it. You guys saw it at $9,400 as of Transfer Tuesday, and then the end of the month happened, and it gained $81 in interest. So only $519 to go on the emergency fund, and I already have another update to add to that for Transfer Tuesday, so be on the lookout for that. Gosh, that is getting totally completed in June. Obviously, I'm so excited. But anyway, car, vet, and medical sitting at $2,000, annual expenses $2,000, fun, and Roth. You guys, they're the next on my hit list. That's it for May. As far as the monthly stuff, what I do want to show you real quick is my net worth recap. So this is where I track the whole year at a glance. So as you can see, income, my real estate, income and outgoing, and then my expenses, I just mark them as I pay them. But this is the most exciting bit. Oops, we're looking at May here. I update my assets or the value of my assets, accounts, whatever it be, on the last day of the month. So what you're seeing for May is what those accounts were valued at on the last day of the month. So it's pretty cool just to see the growth from month over month. Check out that graph. Look at that trajectory. It's flat right now because it's only June 2nd when I'm recording this. So it's obviously going to be pretty close to the value of what it was on May 31st. But I'm guessing by the end of June, that bar graph's going to fall in line pretty well with that trajectory. So positive net worth by the end of the year. Here we come. A little over 17,000 to go. I have full faith that I'll be able to save, invest, grow all of these assets to a positive net worth by the end of December. Again, big part thank you to you guys, but that's really it. It's just consistency is the name of the game here. Like my real estate savings goes up month after month as rent comes in from my tenant, the value of the property. This shows it going up by $50 a month because that's roughly the amount of principal that gets paid off every month. I'm just, for the value of my rental property, I just take its last appraised value, which was in 2020. It has supposedly roughly doubled since then, which I fully believe. It is in Kansas City, Missouri, and that the Midwest has seen a lot of growth throughout the pandemic. As you all know, it is fluctuating a bit now. So whatever, I don't pay attention to any of that. This is the last official appraisal I had at purchase, and then I just subtract the remaining principal. So it goes up by about $50 a month, but really its value is probably a lot more than that because I could turn around and sell that sucker for double at any minute. I get phone calls, texts, emails all the time from other investors wanting to buy my property. So that's where that value comes from. But I know this 401k looks about the same. It's been in transition. It's moving from Fidelity to Vanguard because my new employer uses Vanguard instead. So I will get that updated once the account's actually updated and everything's where it's supposed to be. I'm so excited about that net worth growth. I guess if you're looking at it from your screen this way. But yay, overall, you guys are amazing. Thank you all so much. I'm super excited to see where this summer takes us. As always, let me know down in the comments, how did May go for you guys? I know there's a lot of you who are hanging in there with our low buy year, so let me know how it's going. I'll see you guys in my next video.